Thanks for staying tuned. That's still iBrand Daybreak, and it's time to delve into the morning motivation segment. On today's edition of the show, or episode rather of the show, we'll be looking at the food and drinks business, especially how to start a healthy drinks business. And joining us to discuss this is Olugboyegun Anoluakpo, a business entrepreneur, or rather a food entrepreneur, who joins us via the phone. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Welcome.
Thank you.
So let's look at the food and drinks business now. It's a very large industry, to so to speak. But concentrating more on the drinks business, what does this entail for someone who wants to start a drinks business?
Okay. Thank you very much for having me on the show.
It's a pleasure.
So for someone who wants to start the drinks business, I think the first thing the person needs to ask herself or himself is this something I'm passionate about doing? Because the truth of the matter is it has its own share of challenges. Fruits, the production of healthy fruits, these are things that does not have long shelf life. So when you encounter challenges of probably loss of some of the products, is this something you are still willing to keep pushing on in the long run? Then when the person has discovered that it is something you are passionate about doing and you are and you're interested in doing, then you go for training. Training is really essential. Training cannot be overemphasized because you are producing something for the public. You cannot I wouldn't suggest or advise that you learn anything on YouTube because you wouldn't get detailed information. So training is very essential. So when you start your training, when you're done your training, then such an individual is free to proceed with the business.
Okay, when you talk about training, I mean, this is intriguing because there are those who think, is it not just to make Chapman or make Tiger No drinks and what have you? But when you say training now for the drinks business, how long is this training? What's the cost? And what does it entail? Is there like a tutorial center where people go to learn these things, or you have to learn from someone who is already in the business?
Yes, there are academy where we train on drinks production. There's some academy where they train on drinks production. Then the duration, it varies. Some duration could be 3 to 5 days, some could be 2 weeks. So it varies, it depends and varies based on the different training centers. Yes. The cost also varies based on different coaches.
Okay, but what's the average cost now?
Well, minimum of probably 40,000 naira.
Okay.
And there are some that train even as high as 150,000 naira.
Okay. That would mean all sorts of drinks, not just healthy drinks in terms of the business, but probably alcoholic drinks, smoothies, and all of that. Like, is it all encompassing?
Yes, it depends on what you want. Depends on what you want. For me, I'm not into Chapman. I'm into healthy drinks. So I'm into the production of smoothies, fruit juices, regular drinking yogurt, and Greek yogurt fruit parfait. Tiger Nut Zobo. I'm into those varieties of healthy drinks. But there are some other alcoholic drinks and even non-alcoholic drinks. So it just varies and depends on your preferences.
Okay, now this drinks you are into, they are perishable. If they're not sold for a period of time, they tend to perish. So how do you ensure that the risk factors involved or the losses involved in your kind of business are reduced?
Okay, so one of the things we do is we produce our product fresh. So that when customers are buying it, they are buying it fresh. So it's not something that has been stale. Then there are some natural preservatives that have been added to our product to elongate the shelf life of the product. And another thing is the product needs to be properly refrigerated. So we ensure that we have constant electricity for proper refrigeration or freezing of these drinks before they are being bought.
Okay. Looking at the issue of power supply, we know quite well that we're in a nation that is dealing with erratic power supply. So that may be a challenge for your business or your industry. But aside the cost of providing your own electricity, what are the other costs that are associated with this business of yours?
Do you mean the other costs in terms of providing electricity?
Yes, like other challenges. Okay, challenges should be the right word. I'm sorry.
Okay, so one of the major challenges were the spoilage. Initially, when I started the business, I was having lots of spoilage because of the irregular power supply. But that has been mitigated. We have to look for a solution to that. A permanent, lasting solution to that. Then another challenge is incurring the high cost of raw materials, the instability in our raw materials today. And it's seasonal. So there are times that pineapple is in season and the price is less. And in the next 2 weeks, pineapple would have been scarce, would have become scarce, and then the prices has increased. So we have lots of instability in our prices. So that is one of the major challenges we experience.
Okay, now these challenges, how do you get your returns back, money you have invested in this business, with these challenges, the high cost of fruits and high cost of electricity, having to fuel, of course, the electric power supply. Today you have electricity, the next minute you don't have fuel, your generator to be able to refrigerate these fruits, totally affecting the price. A lot of persons will complain that they don't have so much money to purchase this goods, so they want to buy it at a particular kind of price. How do you make your returns back?
Okay, thank you very much for that. That's why it's commonly said, I've heard a lot of people make those complaints that healthy drinks are usually very expensive. And I think this is one of the reasons why it's expensive, because of the challenges. So that's I think one of the reasons why it's more expensive. You can easily buy a carbonated drink for 100 and 150 naira, but I bet you even the smallest healthy drink or fruit juice, you cannot find it for 200 naira. So the profit margin, everything has been calculated in the profit margin, so that to be able to accommodate any loss or challenge in the way.
Okay, let's delve into the commercial side of things now for the business. What's the average amount needed to invest in a drinks business? Be it the healthy aspect of things that you are into, or just general drinks business. How much can a Nigerian invest into the business for a start at least?
Yes, I started my business with 10,000 naira in the year 2018. Okay. But with the devaluation of naira, I think with 15,000 to 20,000 naira, one can start the business.
Okay, that'll cover. Will that cover the cost of raw materials in terms of the fruits, or how about the equipment?
It would cover the cost of raw materials, the packaging materials, transportation. Although, for a start, if one is starting, when I started, I didn't have so many equipment. I just started with my little kitchen equipment, and I was growing in the business. Okay. But machinery, when it comes to machinery, to buy equipment, one would have to budget, like, let's say, minimum of 50 to 70,000 naira.
Okay.
For a good proper equipment to start.
Okay, now talk about equipment. What are the equipment that one can use to start? Basic equipment.
Okay, so the basic equipment for a start, you can start with even your kitchen blender. You can start with a sieve cloth. But if you want to advance and upgrade, you need to now get a commercial blender. You need to get grinding machines, depending on if you are going into production of tiger nut milk. You need to get a juicer. We have various types of juicers. So there are various types based on the various prices. So a juicer is needed for a start also. So those three basic things, or I think majorly a good blender and a good juicer to start with.
Okay. Looking at the business now, how time consuming or time demanding rather is it, considering that that those who probably want to delve into it, but they also have a 9 to 5 by the side, and they're considering, can I take this as a passive income? So how time demanding is it?
Oh, beautiful. That's one of the beautiful aspects of this business. I tell you, it's not time demanding. It doesn't require so much time, although it depends on the quantity you are producing.
Okay.
I started the business alongside running my 9 to 5 job.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's really not time demanding at all.
Okay.
Then what are the challenges about getting customers? You know, it's one thing to have a good product. It's another thing to get it out there to customers who will be able to patronize. So for you now that you're into the healthy drinks business, how difficult is it to get customers? And what are the tips you would suggest, you know, for one to get customers? You never can tell who is watching and wants to do what you're doing.
Okay. So initially when I started, it was a bit difficult getting customers and trying to convince people on the advantages of consuming healthy drinks. So one of the things I started, I wouldn't suggest that. It depends on individual. If you are comfortable and if you have the financial capacity to do this, fine, they can go ahead. So one of the things I did was I gave a lot of free samples to people.
Okay.
Yes. Although the free samples didn't come in, you know, the normal sizes.
Yeah.
I had to get smaller sizes so that they can have a taste of it. I gave a lot. In fact, I just ensured that this money is going into would I call it marketing?
Publicity. Okay.
It's going into marketing, publicity, advertisement. So I gave a lot of free samples, and from there I got a lot of feedback, a lot of good feedback, a lot of constructive feedbacks, and I got patronages from that.
Okay, and you know you're into healthy foods and drinks. Probably you should just adding to this conversation. We just highlight some of the need for consuming healthy food and drink, just so people may have reasons to want to patronize you.
Okay, so healthy consumption or healthy drinks consumption cannot be overemphasized.
Okay.
You know, that's why right now we face a lot of various ailments or the other. But healthy drink is one of those drinks that can help to avoid or mitigate or prevent such ailments. And we have healthy drinks for several, even as little as cough. There are healthy drinks for that. As little as running nose, that we have healthy drinks for that. Even up to body temperature, high blood pressure, we have healthy drinks for all this. And these things are natural. They are naturally made. No chemicals, no additives, no preservatives. So it's just to enhance our body well-being, the health of or the state of the health of our body generally.
Okay, for your kind of business, I would like to ask, what's that recipe that you add to your your drinks or your smoothies that makes it stand out? Because it's almost like everyone is doing the same thing. When I mean everyone in that industry. So, as a foodpreneur, how do you add one or two recipes to stand out so that your brand is distinct from others?
All right, thank you very much. So you've just asked me a little question that would almost make me divulge our trade secret.
Okay.
And that's, like I said earlier, that's one of the benefits of training.
Okay.
So the information given on YouTube is just a generic information. Okay. But when you go for training, you will be able to coin your recipe in a way that your recipe will be very unique and distinct. So I think I would prefer to just leave that, because if I have to take that recipe I put into my drink for it to stand out, I would have released the company's trade secret.
That's fine.
All right. Okay. Now let's talk about some of the strategies you use to ensure your own product sell out, because we have a lot of people who do the same thing you do. I think that's one of the reasons my colleague asked that question. A lot of people are into drinks and food, and I want to know what's making your own special. So since you want to talk about that, let's look at some strategies you use for sales and marketing that are unique and could get to the consumer as fast as possible.
Okay, so we have outlets in Lagos and Ogun State.
Okay.
So has to be able to reach our consumers easily. rather than everyone ordering from just one particular spot. We have outlets in Lagos and Ogun State. So that's one of the methods we use to be able to reach our customers easily.
Okay, as a final question, as we wrap up this conversation, for anyone who is watching and wants to, delve into the drinks business, especially the healthy drinks business, what are the tips or pieces of advice you can give such a person?
Okay, so number one, the person needs to be prepared, because as easy as it might seem to be, it has its own share of challenges. And be able to see every challenge as a learning point, every challenge as an opportunity to grow and improve, and constant improvement. There's the largest room in the world is the room for improvement. So keep improving, keep developing, keep being the best at what you do, and have the spirit of excellence behind your product. That when your product is seen, people would not even believe that, oh, this product was made from the convenience home of someone's kitchen.
Okay, thank you so much.
So that's excellent.
Okay.
At what they do.
Thank you so much for your time on the show.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.